All indications are a tornado touched down in Lewis County Monday, but the National Weather Service will take more time to look at all the data before making an official determination. And it won't be too much more longer before we do know that. The National Weather Service telling us within the next hour or so we should have an answer. That team from the National Weather Service had boots on the ground in the Turin area today to look at the damage, like roofs off buildings and what looked like a snowmobile trailer and a tree. Yes, radar indicated rotation in the air. Yes, the debris on the ground is scattered around, but this team says it simply needs more time to look at all the data before saying for sure a tornado hit.
You look for a distinct, coherent path to the damage. You look for things that make it seem like the wind was not just in one direction. Beyond that, you look at what was damaged and how much damage was done to it.
The North Country had 3 tornado warnings Monday. The first one likely because of this action in the sky, what appears to be a funnel cloud going between Deer River and West Carthage.
We're not used to these kind of clouds.
That's Sarah Millard noting this isn't typical of what we see in North Country skies. What we've done here is sped up the video a little bit, playing it forward and backward so you can really see the rotation of the clouds in that video. Another angle of that same storm over at Carthage High School. James Kimball shot this video. Let's listen as he narrated what he was seeing and watching the storm come together.
But we're watching these clouds, and the clouds are actually getting sucked up on one side and turning a little bit, going back to the other side. They're getting sucked up on both sides of this thing now.
As long as it stays over on that side, I am safe and sound.
And that is Katie Camage on Boyd Road in Carthage, expressing her relief that the storm was off in the distance. There were no reports of injuries from this storm cell, and there's pretty good confidence that the funnel cloud never really made contact with the ground. That would make it an official tornado. But you may not be able to say the same thing about what happened in the Turin area. There are plenty of reasons to believe a tornado touched down here. But again, the National Weather Service will look at all the damage and data before making that final determination. And also looking at the damage firsthand today, 7 News reporter Zach Grady. He's live tonight with his report. Zach.
Jeff, when I got into Turin this morning, the damage was something to see, but just as powerful as the sights were the sounds, listening to the people who experienced yesterday's storm.
We sat here and huddled, and he cried and he held me, and he was so scared. Mommy, don't leave me. Mommy, help us. Mommy, protect me. So we stayed here, and all of a sudden the glass broke. You heard things blowing around outside.
Kim Long and her son moved into the West Wind Motel and Townhouses 2 days ago. Now, they will be spending at least the next 30 days at the Edge Motel after severe storms destroyed her new home and most of the rest of the West Wind Motel.
I got a call from my mechanic to get in the car and drive up. I thought it was a joke. I didn't understand. I got all the alerts on my phone, but you never really believe it. You know, like, oh, there's a thunderstorm that's going to strike. And you're like, what are you talking about? It's blue skies, you know, tornado. That doesn't happen here.
Residents of the West Wind say they saw something spinning during the storms.
And I went over to the living room window and I looked out and saw the black sky, and he looked out too, and we saw a funnel type coming from that direction. And it was headed towards this way.
That way being towards New York State Route 26, the Steak and Brew restaurant where a tree was found down, resting on its roof, and Snow Ridge Ski Resort.
I just got off the mountain. We drove around and to see as much as we could. We have damage to just about all of our lifts, all 3 chair lifts, including our T-bar. Hopefully when the trees are cleared from that, we can find that there wasn't too much actual damage and it's just a matter of clearing the debris.
Town highway crews were busy cleaning up trees and debris off roads. In the town of Lewis, near the Oneida County border, a hay barn on Mud Lake Road was destroyed and part of a garage missing. Turin Mayor and Lewis County District 7 legislator Josh Leviker says he's never seen a storm like this in his lifetime.
Other than the small tornado that was probably 10 years ago on the Gardner Road up at the wind farm, other than that, I mean, nothing of an impact where it was buildings and just private, you know, I mean, the whole ski slope, I mean, it's unfortunate.
While the storm and the damage Monday night was severe, one positive, there are no injuries to report at this time. The West Wind owners do tell us, though, that they did lose a horse from the weather, which they found Tuesday morning, deceased. Jeff?
Zach Grady, live tonight. Thank you.